This is the review for Unit 6, Product Management. The product can be a good or a service, anything that has monetary value that will satisfy the needs and wants of customers. A good is any tangible object that consumers can purchase that will satisfy a need or a want. A good is something that we can hold on to, that we can store, and that we can resell in the future if it maintains value. A service is an activity that is intangible, and we purchase it directly from the producer of the service, and we consume it at the time that it's produced. And of course, a haircut is a good example of that, or a visit to the dentist would also be an example. The word intangible means that the service can't be touched, seen, heard, tasted, felt. It's not something that we can hold on to. Having our eyes examined is a good example of the purchase of a service. The service sector is the largest and fastest growing employment area in our economy. Most of us will work in the service sector. Teachers work in the service sector. Nearly 79% of all jobs are service jobs. The fastest growing service sector is healthcare, with almost 2 of every 5 new jobs by this year. The most important difference between a good and a service is that services are intangible, such as receiving an education. Inseparable means that the service is provided and consumed at the same time. Means that services that are unused cannot be stored and sold in the future. Think of an airplane. When the airplane leaves the runway, any empty seats can never be sold again. Seats on an airplane, seats in a movie theater, the hotel rooms, these are all perishable. If they're not sold on the day they're provided, then they cannot be resold in the future. Heterogeneous means that there are differences between services. Have you ever been to a restaurant and received bad service? Have you ever received a bad haircut? Service organizations rely heavily on social media, viral marketing, publicity, and word of mouth. Photographers are very much rely on Facebook in order to provide examples of their work. Services are often very labor intensive. In other words, it takes a great deal of time to perform some services, construction work, house painting, etc. All products can be marketed to both industrial buyers and to final consumers, such as ourselves. Goods are purchased by consumers for our personal use. We might purchase tax software to do our personal budgeting and file our income taxes. A business organization might purchase the same software for use in the business or to do the business's taxes. We will determine if a good or service is an industrial good or a consumer good will depend on who purchases that product and why it's being purchased. Brand is the unique name, symbol, or design that identifies a product, a service, or a company. McDonald's is a well-known brand. Even very small children who might not know their home phone number, might not even know their address, will know the Golden Arches. They'll know and be aware of the McDonald's brand. Brand image is the unique, memorable quality of the brand. Some brands have an image of quality, others of low price, and others of innovation. Interesting depiction of famous brands from different states. North Face brand specializes in outerwear and equipment, things like backpacks, tents, sleeping bags, etc. Now, the North Face was chosen as a brand name. And why was it chosen as a brand name? It was chosen to communicate something about the product. And the word North Face generally refers to mountain climbing. The North Face brand was established in 1968, and the north face of a mountain has been used to climb Mount Everest, which is the tallest mountain on Earth. Essentially, what's happened is this North Face brand has attempted to use the brand name to communicate a message to the customer. And this is done routinely, whether it's a product like Slim Fast or a product like North Face. The brand name has been chosen to communicate something to the consumer. Manufacturer brands, also called producer brands, also called national brands, are owned and created by manufacturers, and they can be purchased at a variety of stores. Purina Dog Chow can be purchased at any supermarket. It can be purchased at a Dollar General. It can be purchased at Fred's. It can be purchased at Walmart. And the same is true with electronic brand names, which can be purchased at a Best Buy or a Walmart store, and others as well. Lots of retailers will carry these name brand, national brand. Private brand, sometimes called a store brand, can only be purchased at particular retailers. For example, Kenmore appliances are available at Sears. Old Roy Dog Food is a store brand, a private brand, which can only be purchased at Walmart stores. Co-branding is a strategy that combines one or more brands to increase customer loyalty and sales for each individual brand. Barnes & Noble and Starbucks is very common. The Harley-Davidson brand co-branded for a time with Best Western Hotels, and again, it was a way to promote both, and both would win from the co-branding strategy. The Call of Duty Special Edition Jeep is a unique example of co-branding. This product was placed in a video game, but this is an ad from a magazine promoting the Call of Duty Black Ops Jeep. But it also benefited the sale of video games by the same name, as well as the sale of the Jeep. This is an example of co-branding at Silver Dollar City, Coca-Cola. Another example of Coca-Cola co-branding, but interestingly enough, Germex, when this photograph was taken, was also involved with co-branding with Silver Dollar City. Mixed branding strategy occurs when a business creates multiple brand names to appeal to different market segments. And we can see that Vanity Fair owns a number of brand names, including North Face, as well as Wrangler Jeans and Lee Jeans. This is done to appeal, again, to different segments of the market. A brand extension is a marketing strategy in which a firm marketing a product with a well-developed image would use the brand name in a different product category. Polo, for example, best known for the sale of clothing, primarily men's clothing, but they've also co-branded not only to women's clothing, but also men's cologne, men's fragrances, and interestingly enough, Ralph Lauren Paint can also be purchased. Sometimes these products are called spin-offs. But again, when the popularity of a brand name becomes so well known, it's very likely that that brand name will be found on lots of other products eventually. A trademark is the legal protection of the words or symbols for use by a company. Brand licensing is the legal authorization by a trademarked brand owner that will allow another company to use the brand or the brand mark for a fee. And the University of Arkansas does not produce clothing. The University of Arkansas license its brand name and its emblem, the Razorback, to other companies to produce clothing. And in turn, when that clothing is sold, no matter where it's sold, the University of Arkansas will receive a licensing fee. They'll receive a royalty for the use of their brand mark. Of the brand has to protect the brand from infringement. And this is becoming very common, particularly as universities and even high schools trademark their brand emblem and their brand characters. Even the University of Missouri has mailed a cease and desist order, and eventually came to an agreement with Green Forest for the use of the Tiger trademark. Protecting the brand and the trademark from infringement proves ownership. This is an example of a trademark infringement courtesy of a former student. And again, perhaps this is still in use. It could be that Starbucks has not been notified, they haven't seen it, or it could be that a court has ruled that this isn't a trademark infringement. But it would seem very likely to me that this particular example would be an example of trademark infringement. It looks very close to the Starbucks emblem. An example, if you remember the video, where Starbucks sued a very small coffee shop called Sam Buck's, which was actually her name. The owner of the coffee shop was named Sam Buck. She could not actually use her name for her coffee shop, and this actually went to court, and Starbucks prevailed. A trade or brand character is a brand mark with human form and characteristics. Colonel Sanders, who was a real person at one time, has been turned into a cartoon character and is used as a trade character or brand character by KFC. And of course, Ronald McDonald is the best known brand character out there. Will Dave Thomas at some point become a brand character in the same way that Colonel Sanders became a brand character? Well, only time will tell. Other examples of well-known brand characters. The Jolly Green Giant, the Michelin Man. The Michelin Man's been in use for, I believe, in the neighborhood of 100 years. And many hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent building the recognition through advertising and other forms of promotion of these trade characters. We enjoy trade characters. They can enhance the image of the brand, and they're often used in displays of products, as well as in point of sale purchase displays and commercials and other types of advertising. Trade character is the visual personification of a particular brand, merchandise, or advertiser. And with M&M's, it was very understandable that an M&M would simply be turned into a talking, walking, humorous representation of the brand. Geico, one of the more famous examples of the use of trade characters, although this particular company is using other trade characters. The camels that they're using in their advertising is also becoming very popular. Flo is a very popular brand character right now that has been created by this particular actress and comedian, and seems to be doing very well, very popular in right now. Pillsbury Doughboy. The Mr. Peanut of Planters Peanuts. Again, another trade character that has been around a very long time and has been very successful in building that particular brand. Trade characters, also called brand characters, are also known as advertising icons. Excellent video about branding with trade characters. Again, there is a museum under construction in Kansas City devoted exclusively to advertising icons, also known as trade characters. They do have an informative website, and hopefully that museum will be open at some point and might make an interesting field trip. I hope you enjoyed the activity of creating your own brand character. I thought we had a lot of creativity there, and thank you for your participation in that activity. A product life cycle identifies the 4 stages a product goes through from the time it enters the market until it's no longer sold. And those stages are introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Some products have very long product life cycles, and other products may be introduced and quickly fade from the marketplace. Solar power is a product that is currently in the introduction phase. This is actually a solar-powered aircraft, and will we be flying on solar-powered aircraft someday? Who knows? But that technology is in the introductory stage of the product life cycle. The introductory stage is the first stage. There are no direct competitors. The price is usually very high, but this is the least profitable stage. Google has undoubtedly spent hundreds of millions of dollars developing the product Google Glass. They have yet to make any significant money at all. It may be introduced in 2015, and if so, the price will probably be over $1,500, probably less than $2,000, but it will be a very costly product. If it is successful in the introduction stage, it will attract competitors as it continues. The growth stage will see sales and increase and the attraction of competitors to the marketplace. During the maturity stage, sales will peak, profits might even begin to decline. There will be many businesses offering that brand and are offering that type of product. They'll have their own brand, and the brands will all tend to have the same options. Think about these tablet computers. When they were introduced, they were very successful. They quickly entered the growth stage. Many competitors were attracted, and today we see virtually any number of companies selling these tablet computers. The decline stage, the product will no longer satisfy the customer's needs, and it will eventually be. Cassette player is a good example of a product that's gone completely through the product life cycle. 8-track cassette tapes are something that is no longer manufactured. The first cellular phone, created by Marty Cooper, 1973, is a product that's completely gone through the product life cycle. The phones that we use today have virtually nothing in common with the cellular phone invented in 1973 by Marty Cooper. This particular package tells us through an illustration how the product should be served. It should be grilled and placed in a bun. Interestingly enough, this package has a cow on the front to further indicate to us that it's an all beef frank. It even has a brand of beef, which is Angus. This particular package is actually resealable. There's a lot going on with this particular package. Packaging can also make the product more desirable or useful for consumers. This particular package of Neosporin provides a single dose with just the squeeze of a trigger. Quite often we will buy products based on nothing other than the functionality of the packaging. Customer interest in the product's package can be an important factor in determining the success or failure of the product. This is an older bottle of aftershave, actually marketed by Avon. I'm not sure that this product is marketed any longer. It was just something that I found and thought would be very interesting. It is not actually a car. It is a glass bottle of men's aftershave. And again, people will purchase this product because they like the container. And this particular container was probably kept 20 or more years after the contents of the package were actually consumed. The package can protect a product during shipping, storage. It can help display the product. It can help prevent pilferage or shoplifting. In these particular plastic types of containers, which are much larger than the actual product that they contain, do exactly that. They help prevent shoplifting. The package can suggest prestige, convenience, status, or other positive attributes. I'm convinced that we purchased Fiji water for two reasons: the brand name and the distinctive design of the package. Various sizes can meet the needs of different market segments. We might have a very small package for an individual serving, all the way to a very large package that might be for the needs of a larger family. Can indicate the use or purpose of the product. This is a great example. We only need to look at this particular can of soup, and we can look at the brand name, waistline, and we can look at the design of the package, and we know exactly what this product is designed to accomplish. Packaging can prevent tampering and provide security for the product until the consumer can use it. Tampering was a major concern 25, 30 years ago, and it's still a concern today. But there are so many safeguards in place today that product tampering is very difficult, if not impossible, particularly with over-the-counter pharmaceuticals. The Tylenol product tampering case of 1982, simply the most common explanation was that someone purchased Tylenol, emptied the capsules of their medication, replaced it with cyanide, and placed them back on the counter, resulting in the death of 7 people. And this case actually remains unsolved to this day. But companies have taken great pains to prevent product tampering of this type. How valuable is the package? This is an example of the Great Gatsby. A first edition is $10,000 with the dust cover, with the package. We can expect $80,000 for a first edition. Few products are really new. Most new products are existing products that have been changed or improved in some way. A new product has to be entirely new or changed in an important and noticeable way. Now, these are the guidelines, or the rules from the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC requires a 6-month time limit for the use of the word new. And again, in order to be called new, the product must be changed in a significant way. Companies develop new products to increase sales, market share, and profits. The failure rate of new products is very high and very expensive. A SWOT analysis identifies a business's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And a SWOT analysis can and will be done for any new product ideas. A test market is a specific city or geographic area in which marketing experiments are conducted. Several years ago, while visiting the Memphis Grizzlies for the Pro Sports Career Day activity, a test market was occurring there, and consumers were asked to taste test samples of Diet Mountain Dew and rate the one they preferred in an effort to find the product most appealing to consumers. Again, this was an example of a test market activity. Companies will routinely test their products in one or more restaurants in their chain before making the decision to take that product nationwide and place it in all of their restaurant locations. When using a test market, a limited quantity of the new product is developed. This is very expensive. It informs competitors about the company's strategy and products, and competitors can take some action to influence the test market. For example, they might introduce a new product of their own in the same area where their competitor is also conducting a test market. Product declines in popularity, it has to be improved or repositioned to maintain interest in sales. This video that we saw about the Metropolitan Opera, which has repositioned itself to a more modern audience and is also using technology to broadcast their performances around the globe, and they're generating considerable revenue as well as considerable interest from taking their product, improving it, and repositioning it for a more modern audience. And we will have the test on Unit 6, Product Management, tomorrow. Thank you.